Hello, dear friends, my lovely audiences. Welcome to the East West Show with GNE TV. We are trying to be more and more responsible to what's happening around us. Right now, we see lots of funny things around us, both federally and locally. And the most head scratching is our marijuana, which is a result as a consequence of all the extreme left, to my take. Today in the discussion about to stop the extreme left is my friend, an educator and a political commentator, my dear friend, Mr. Wei Luo, founder and the CEO of California Sunshine Education Center, a wonderful educator who has been trying for the past 5 years to combine the American curriculum with the Chinese curriculum to create a third one, a new one that includes both of them, which has been proven successful.
Thank you.
And in the meantime, he is a philosopher, he is a thinker. Every time when I have something that bothers me so much, I will call him and I say, Wei, will you please come here and share with me your thought on this? And a few days ago, when we were hearing about the marijuana going to be legalized, of course, legalization law was there for last year, and the action of legalization starts January 1st. I called him, I said, come here to talk about. And says, I don't know marijuana, I don't do marijuana, I don't know anyone around me who do marijuana. I said, no, we're talking about marijuana as a consequence, as a byproduct of the extreme left that we have been doing for this many years, right? So, all right, that's why I have him here. So to my dear friend Wei Luo, welcome to the show. I'm so serious.
Thank you, Jack. Thank you, audience over there. I think that, Jack, thank you for inviting me to talk about this controversial issue that started from the January 1st of 2018 because of Proposition 64 that passed about 2 years ago. And that has bothered me since it passed for the vote. First of all, to be honest with you, I didn't understand why, as citizens in California, passed that law that allowed people to take marijuana as recreational use. That's okay. Definitely
All right.
And let me put it this way: I'm not talking about from the left wing or right wing. I'm just talking out of my value, what is correct for me, for my kids, and for our community.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, let's just put it this way. And I believe that if we take a look at the history of marijuana in this country, marijuana planning and use has to be traced back to late 17th century. By then, the colonist states planted marijuana as economic crops. Same thing like weeds and rices and tobacco.
Opium too.
Opium by then was prohibited, but
opium
was not encouraged.
Okay.
Was not legalized by then. But they exported it to India, and English exported to India, and India later on transported to China. That's what the most controversial issue in the most temporary history in China. That's a different topic. But in the planning of marijuana in this country has a long history. It's longer than the foundation of the United States of America as a country.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's had like about 400 years.
The antedates all the way before the founding of this nation.
That is right. But in the history of anti-drug war, from legal point of view or from administration point of view, that there's a certain wave, at least a couple of waves of prohibiting it and legalize it, discrimination it, and discrimination it, or criminalization it.
It's kind of a come and go.
There is a back and forth.
Come and go.
That is right. That is right. But the most recent wave of trying to discriminalize it that's happened, especially for the use of recreational or medical use is back in the late 60s in California. So California was the first state that legalized the use of marijuana for the medical use.
All right.
By individuals. That is the.
And still, that's prescribed.
That is with exactly
prescribed,
with doctors
with doctor's
prescribed.
prescription. Yes.
That is right. But this wave, I believe, that legalized marijuana to be used by everybody, individual over there who need it, who claim they need it, is something that went beyond my thinking power.
Yeah. I thank you very much. I really appreciate the statement or explanation from going back any days all the way to even before the founding of the nation.
States. That's right.
The thing to me, looks to me, is that one thing for sure, right? With or without legalization, the chemical compound for marijuana has never been changed.
That is correct.
Am I right?
That is correct.
So it harms the brain system, make you high. If you're high enough, you die. That's it.
That's right.
Right? Something like that.
That's right.
That's normal. That is so correct.
That is
now,
correct.
why am I relating this legalization to the extreme left? Because we are on the road going left all the way. Right? all the way, all the extreme way. Until to a point, there is nothing to go further left. So they discovered the marijuana. Let's do it. Am I right?
I've never been thinking that way, but I'm thinking about it from a society point of view, as well as from education point of view, is that it is not a good signal or not a good indication that expose our youngsters to marijuana use. The reality is that the marijuana has been very popular in the high schoolers group already. In California.
You're right.
It is a problem bothers every educator in this state for so long, because my statistics showing that at least in some school district, 25% of high school students have used marijuana
or tried
it before.
All right.
And in my school district, which I not to expose
Vernon,
the name of it.
Vernon, all right.
Claremont High.
Okay.
In Claremont High, we had an overdose fatal accident.
Oh, fatal.
For a 17-year-old girl only last year.
I see.
It was a case that the combination of the syndrome of marijuana and prescription drugs.
Oh, they aggravated each other.
They aggravated each other and killed the girl. That was just last year.
All right, you know what worries me most? What worries most exactly is the area of our kids. Okay, now, we all know monkey see, monkey do, right?
That is correct.
Monkey see, monkey do. They copy. Who they copy? They copy us. They copy adult.
That's right.
And now with the issue such as marijuana, going left and going in and out, all this time though, they might have accumulated enough wonder to know what that stuff is.
That's right.
Now that it is legalized, even though there is no sale, says no sale to minor, there are different connotations. They can be younger than 18, or they can be stretched to younger than 21, like a secret thing, right? That kind. So they might try it. There are more people try it, and the titan on that control might be loosened up, because even the parents think anyway it's legalized.
That is correct.
They will think that way. That is the most dangerous part.
That is correct. If I would say is that most dangerous parts from different angles. Number one is that we didn't put in much emphasis on how how serious the marijuana problem has posed to our youngsters. This is the from social consensus point of view, because in a certain group in our society, especially those groups who have a higher income, who have a very shining professions, those are the group of people who are exposed to the marijuana the most, according to statistics, because purchasing marijuana has to be supported by financial means.
Of course.
If you don't have financial means, you don't purchase it.
It's a money-driven issue.
That is correct.
After all.
Always, from
right.
seller or user point of view.
Of course.
That's right.
My dear audience, today in another discussion, talking to Stop the Extreme Left, we pick up marijuana as one of the byproduct of going extreme left. So going left and the left and the left, when we suddenly discover, when they suddenly discovered, when those smart guys suddenly discovered that marijuana might be the thing that express what they pursue. With me today is my good friend, Mr. Wei Luo, founder and CEO of California Sunshine Education Center. He's an educator. I believe it is an educator issue to even more extent, because you're talking about your future. You're talking about with this impact, how are we going to handle our kids, right? So let's take a very short moment out. When we come back, we will check our readiness for it. There are lots of things in lots of areas that needs to be ready, yet we're not. Stay with us. We'll be right back, please. Hello, dear friends, my lovely audiences, my fellow Angelinos or Californians. Poor guys. Come back to the show. We will welcome back to the show. It's a discussion about the legalization, the first day starting January 1st of marijuana, which in my eye is the consequence of going extreme left. If we do not stop going extreme left, though, there might be even more to come, right? With me today is my good friend, Mr. Wei Luo, founder and CEO of California Sunshine Education Center, an educator who's been devoted to all the jobs needed for education. Right? And his worry, concern is about our kids. So with the marijuana issue, we're still talking about how we want to prevent them from becoming a victim, right? Now, we just mentioned about that this is a money-driven issue, right?
That is correct.
For the money, for the benefit, for the profit, there are going to be non-stop of people chasing after the money. Before long, pretty soon, you're going to see marijuana beer, which we have already.
That's right.
Right. Marijuana chocolate.
Yep.
Right. Marijuana soda.
Candy.
Marijuana candy.
Yes.
Right. And the marijuana cookie, something like that. Those are the things our kids like.
That's right.
Now, with the marijuana legalized, right, you can't allow the minors to smoke marijuana. So but you can't prevent them eating marijuana cookies. Am I right?
That's right.
So now, when the chemical is there,
that's right,
it can make you high when smoking.
That's right.
And the same function does it to you.
Yes.
When you eat lots of cookies.
That's right.
Of that.
That's right.
So that is my problem, is everybody's problem. How do you see, as an educator, please?
I think that first of all, we have to, as we said, that we have to face it, and we have to learn it, study it. What is good or bad about it? When I'm talking about good about it, and somebody would be surprised, hey, wow, you were talking about something good about drugs and marijuana. My answer is yes, because we did use marijuana, or we are still using marijuana in many aspects in our life, because marijuana as a plantation, as a plant, has a lot of multiple uses. It's a stand, it's a good fabric. We make it as rope, and we make it for the fabric weaving.
You mean
by using the stem,
using
the peel,
using the plant,
the plants,
the stem,
the stem, the branches, as well as the peel, that we can use it and dry. We peel it and we dry it. It's a very good kind of a fabric that we make it into robe.
Okay.
Masher, and in Chinese. So so we use it every day. But as a kind of a medication, we also use marijuana to kill some diseases, especially to kill the...
No. Forget the useful part. Forget
that's right.
Forget the medical part.
No, let me
about
finish.
The recreation part.
Let me finish. So we have to study it. We have to know it. What is marijuana? And then we will be able to put a limitation for the bad use of a marijuana. Because if marijuana used as a medication, especially for the recreational purpose,
it is legalized already. Why you?
No, from a federal point of view, it's still not.
All
good
right,
news.
Okay, all right, the good news.
That's the good news.
That means that probably we still have a hope.
Even if something in legalization.
Let me tell you the problem. Okay, the obvious problem that when you drive under the influence of alcohol, though, right? Cops can stop you, give you a detector, and it says your blood content.
That's right.
All right, okay, and then you're in jail for it.
Yeah, my example. That's a good example.
When you do marijuana, though, there is no such a device ready. All right. In other words, California legalized the marijuana when California is not ready to detect marijuana content in the human body.
That's just echo my point.
That's putting the horse behind the cart.
No, not really. I think I do believe that is not my expert, but as far as I know, that people, especially professional people, law enforcement, they have ways to detect the use of marijuana or the carry out of the marijuana.
I checked with one of them yesterday.
That's why no?
Yes. That's why yes, they did say no. That's why I'm so strong on this issue. There is the total law enforcement system has no way of telling how much marijuana you intake in your body. Okay, unless you go to a clinic, do a blood test,
and then you'll find it out.
And the blood test is even more complicated. It takes even longer time to determine. All right. So now California is not ready to detect it, right? To prevent it, all right? To handle the consequences before they legalize it.
So basically,
number one.
Basically,
number two.
Yes.
For alcohol, there is 0.8%, right? It has a standard there.
That's right.
Now the standard is reduced by half, say 0.4.
That's right.
Something which is not for sure yet. However, there is a little standard there to tell you, beyond that, you are criminal. Below that, you're okay, something like that.
That is right.
Now, for marijuana, there's not such a quantification. You don't even have a quantified point to say you are under the influence of marijuana or not. Determination is hard. Right now, another indication to say that California did something before they are ready. Am I right?
That is correct. So basically what you're telling me is that the government as well as the law enforcement are not ready to protect our people.
Yeah.
Now
they failed.
Now it's our turn as educator to came out
all right.
to educate people, to call for self-defection, protection for all of you over their audience. That's
right.
how important our show, today's talk is.
That's a good call. All right, now, you drive under the influence of a marijuana, you risk your own life, right?
That is correct.
How about my life? I'm not using marijuana. I'm not driving under the influence of marijuana.
Looks to me.
I could be killed by a car whose driver is using marijuana.
That's very bad. That's very bad.
They
That's
fail to
very
protect me.
That's right.
All right.
That's right.
And you say, oh, there are cops. Now, I checked with the officer, retired officer,
That's right.
yesterday on the show, though.
That's right.
According to the system, LA County Sheriff needs 8,500 officers to be dispatched on every single day. Now, on every single day, there are only 5,000. The shorthand, 3,500. Now, they are shorthanded already. All of a sudden, you have the further load, additional load, to detect marijuana users on the freeway, though. How can they handle the job? The third indication that California did it before California is ready. Am I right?
So that's how important we as ordinary people have to come out to protect ourselves.
Yeah.
And my suggestion for us for that is that first of all, we have to understand what is marijuana. This is what it is and why it is. So we have to collect or build up our knowledge database to understand it. And then we extended our knowledge base into how to protect ourselves as well as our kids in the campus. Because as I just mentioned, that there are some school district out there which have over 25% of high schoolers used or regular use of marijuana and other drugs over there. For example, the latest example is the death of students from Fresno State University. Right? It's a combination. It's only
Fresno
State University.
Oh.
And it's a sophomore of a music student.
Oh, I believe. Yeah, I heard that. 19-year-old. Yeah.
No, 19 years old.
19
That's
years old,
right.
yeah.
And his girlfriend was 17 years old, and his younger brother over there in the fraternity party overdose of marijuana combined mixed up with Xanax.
Oh.
Another type of drug.
All right, okay.
So we have to, first of all, as parents, as a responsible citizenship, we have to understand, collect enough knowledge to prepare ourselves to deal with the problem. And number one is that we have to have a balanced information with our kids. Because if you go to, as parents and responsible citizens, we have to understand what we're dealing with. So we have to have balanced information as our kids have, because a lot of cases that our kids know much more about drugs than we do as parents and citizenship. And for my case, is true, because of this show, I talked to two of my kids. One is in the college, one is in high school.
Your own kid,
yeah. My own kids, my very good, lovely, and cutie daughters, and they are academically outstanding, and it's so well, doing so well in the school, in their school respectively. When I talked with them about the medication, about the marijuana and other abuse of drugs, they have overwhelmed knowledge than I can imagine. They both shared a lot of information about school use of marijuana in their school respectively, college and high school. Because my kids, top kids, my older kids happen to be in a school which is the top 10 problem campus in the U.S. college. I'm not mentioning that name to you, but as prestige as the college she is, the marijuana problem seems to be overwhelming in every classes. And in high school, because I live in Claremont, Claremont is a 900 school district.
Let's take a very short moment out. We come back to continue. So stay with us, please. Lovely friends, lovely audiences, welcome back to the East-West Show. Jack Chow in a conversation with my good friend, Mr. Wei Luo, an educator, talking about marijuana, talking about stop going extreme left with marijuana as a outcome as a consequence. You're talking about the school campus,
That's right.
talking about their knowledge, their awareness. They have done a good job, I believe.
Wow. Yeah, my kids, first of all, they know what it is. And then they come up with the idea how to protect themselves, fortunately. And because the campus of my older daughter is a top problem college campus in the U.S. because in regard to the marijuana use and other drug use. And also the high school students, where the high school where my second younger daughter, is studying now is also a fine school district. But with that, we still have one death case of overuse.
Oh, a death already.
That's already. And there's a 17-year-old girl died from combination of marijuana and Xanax, which is same situation as the school students, Fresno students. And there's another death of fatal accident a year prior to that. So in the last 3 years, to my memory, there are at least 2 death incidents in high school where my younger daughter is in now. So the problem seems to be very, very serious. However, to us, especially Chinese immigrant, Chinese Americans, and we look at the school cards only, meaning that as far as this school has API of 800, 900, as far as our kids presented us with their reporting grading cards, A plus or B plus, we are all happy about it. And we don't care more than just school cards and grading report sales. That is the problem.
Yeah, we need to talk to them. We need to understand what they know about marijuana.
Exactly.
We need to prevent things from happening. We need to prevent things from going worse to worse.
That is correct.
It looks to me, if you do not stop it, things will pop up. Other things will pop up.
That's right.
Just now I mentioned about the byproducts, right?
That's right.
Marijuana, beer, cookies, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
What if someday I have 20 employees in the office, and somebody consumed marijuana cookies, somebody consumed the marijuana beer, and the whole office high.
It could be a situation.
Could be a situation.
Could be a situation.
Right?
Could be.
Could
be because here is my number, and according to FDA and other public health departments studies numbers, that there are about 23 million Americans who take drug and non-prescribed recreational drugs, or some type of abuse of we would say abuse of substance, using their terminology. 23 million, which is almost 8% of the population in this country, is using drug. How serious is it?
That's terrible. That's so terrible.
Let's put in this scenario. Let's imagine that you are going to hire 10 people from the market over there, labor market over there. There's a 1%. There's a 1 employee to hire are using drugs. How serious it is?
To you and also to my audiences, ever since the first day of January, I've been very busy on this issue. I have you working on this so that you're prepared for this show, and I have another friend of mine, Mr. Chris Nibby, working on this case too, and he will show up next Monday on this issue too, talking about, according to his pre-study that he submitted and sent it to me for my homework, was that the whole Vietnam War has taken 54,000 lives of American soldiers.
That's right.
The whole Vietnam War. Okay. Last year only, the death toll of drugs, especially the combined drugs, in your case, right? It was 68,000.
Thousand already. Let me tell you another number. There are
That surpasses it. That means 7 per hour death. 7 deaths per hour. That's a terrible rate.
7 deaths every hour. My goodness. Click your watch. Look at the watch. Hour from now, there are 7 deaths already.
Yeah.
How serious?
And next Monday, he's going to come here on the show with it. So I was so amazed, so mesmerized by the number, so I can't even believe it. And I did double check; it was true there, right? So we are now at a time that we really have to think twice before we want to say yes to a law that legalizes things, right? The legalization, the action of legalization was taken before we are ready in as many aspects as necessary. Do you think so?
That's right.
Right.
That's right. We have we have to think about our right of vote seriously when we come across with controversial issues like legalization proposition, legalization of marijuana, Proposition 64. Because we passed it last year.
That's terrible.
The majority of votes of California chose to legalize the use of marijuana, which is a bad decision that we have made as a group.
All right, my dear friends, that's bad enough to start a year with. Everybody kind of heavy-hearted about this, and our kids, especially when you happen to be somebody's parents, so you better be more concerned than anybody else.
That's
With
right.
me, my friend Wei Luo, using the first 3 segments, talking about our marijuana system, the whole thing, I call the system, because it's a kind of working all the way, following the money structure system.
That's right.
Mr. Wei Luo, founder and CEO, I give him a huge credit for this.
Thank you.
Let's take a short moment. When we come back, the other day, he and I, we agreed upon a fact that we were about to attack North Korea. Are we doing it? Are we not doing it? Or will we do it? So let's take the coming segment and we'll probably chew that issue with you all together. So stay with us. Hello, dear friends. Welcome back to the East West Show. Jack Chow on the East West with G&E TV. Today we pick up 2 subjects. One is the extremely going left until we legalize marijuana, which is so dangerous that we want to call a stop. We want to pin our hope to the federal law, which doesn't legalize the marijuana, to kick in sometimes when necessary. Right now, this coming segment, this very segment with Mr. Luo Wei, we want to touch base with you because last time he was here, we promised our audiences we will come back with analysis. Now the analysis. So, Mr. Wei Luo, founder and CEO of California Sunshine Education Center, and he's not a military guy. And I neither, right? So we want to put our thoughts together to see what's happening over there. To Mr. Wei Luo, it was, the tension was so tight a few days ago.
That's right.
Right? Entering this year, this new year, it seems to be there are enough signs to seem to lose up a little bit. Now there is even saying there's going to be a negotiation, going to be a talk. What's happening?
What's happening is dramatic. And we just talked about internal issue, and now we switch our channel to international issue, which is even more dramatic.
All right.
Because think about this. About 2 weeks ago, we talked about the edge that U.S. and Korea was going to a war, but today we're talking about peace. And how dramatic it is. Because after your show last time, one of my coworker, which is American coworker, talked to me, said that, Wei, how do you worry about the possible war between U.S. and North Korea, especially North Korea can bomb us with the nuclear bomb. I said that, just rest up, Pete. That's gonna never be happening. And why was that? Is that because from military point of view, that putting out nuclear atomic bomb into that missile head, we call it warhead, is a high-tech, is a highly advanced technology that our North Korean rival may not have it. That is my number one.
All right.
Gamble.
But, okay. All
yeah,
right.
that's my number one takeaway. Number two is that it is a show, Jack. You and me, we all know that this is a show. This is a geographic, political geographic show. It is a psychological show, and it is a show that played by politicians in those countries get involved. First, from North Korean point of view, they trying to talk with U.S. directly since the post-war 50, 60 years already, right? They are begging to talk to the U.S. directly without China, without Japan, without North Korea's involvement. And from U.S. point of view, is that it's a good thing to keep North Korea as a trouble kids over there in the region. That's right.
All right. Okay.
Do you think so?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
I like that take.
That's a benefit for the U.S., especially for the U.S. Defense industry from the U.S. to keep enemy like North Korea, so that we have excuses to produce, to update our weapon system, to sell more advanced weapons, to use tax dollars to fight with another country or possible fight with another country. So we have those Wall Street people can back up with the production number, profit number, everything related in a circle. So it is a game. It is not going to be a war happening. That's my take.
Remember last time we were on the show talking about the Korean War, I kind of advanced my point saying that there could be no war, never going to be a war.
So you are a prophet.
Yeah.
You are a prophet.
I'm not that great. I can tell it by reason. Okay, now, it is not a military situation. Still not a military situation. It is a philosophical and strategic situation we're talking about.
I agree.
Right? First, the strategy is based upon a certain philosophy that things are getting balanced there. Okay, now, you're talking about Russia, you're talking about China, you're talking about United States, you're talking about Japan, you're talking about South Korea. 5 countries around the same issue. Okay, the major concerns are China, Russia, and the United States. Japan and South Korea, especially when South Korea that was that close to the zone, regardless, doesn't matter. There's never going to be a war. Now, we used to sanction again and over again, right? Sanction, if it's really carried out in 100% though, I would say it would be wonderful if North Korea could survive for 5 days. All will die. And then there must be some leak into it. All right. Now, every time there is a commentator, once they did this report saying that every time when America tightens a net, it purposely leave a hole there, pointing, that's your way out. Go there. Right? They have, or we have, everybody has, to China's benefit, to the U.S. benefit, to Russian benefit, to the Japanese benefit, and even to South Korea benefit, the North Korea has to be there to keep everybody busy. Do you think so?
Jack, you know what? And you barely have an issue or topic that I agreed with you 100%.
All right,
but this
good.
time is an exemption.
All right.
And I would
What?
say that not only of that, it's just because, but also that the existence of North Korea region over there is definitely is a need for the international check and balance game. As you said that if there's no, as I just presented, if North Korea problem solved overnight tomorrow morning, and then there's no reason that the U.S. trip will stay over there.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
And how do you think about 300,000 troops withdraw from North Korea Peninsula, from South Korea?
We don't want to do it.
And come back, and
We
where
never
we
want to
put
do
them?
it. We never want to do
Where
it.
are we going to put
Yeah,
them?
we want to keep them there. We
That
want
is
to keep them
correct.
there.
That is
and
correct.
we want to get a position in there
That is
forever.
correct.
Right.
Hopefully forever.
Okay,
Hopefully,
well,
hopefully
it's
forever.
the benefit of Americans, to the defense of Americans. We want to stop all problems beyond us.
Not only of American, but also for China too.
Oh, yeah,
Because
okay.
because intention that China and the U.S.
That
build
means
up
you
in-
agree with me. You're not in disagreement with me.
No, I'm 100% agree with you.
Yeah, you're
which is
100%
which,
agree,
which
yeah.
was a barely situation.
You want to say the
in the past.
exemption. Where was the exemption?
Exemption is that China benefited from it.
Yeah, China is benefiting
Military of China
Yeah,
benefit from it.
China is benefiting from it. Everybody is benefiting from it.
I don't know if South Korea is benefiting from it because.
Oh, yes, of course. Oh, yes, of course.
I don't think so.
Yes, of course. There are things you know, there are things you don't
No,
know.
I don't think so. At
All
least
right.
from the president of South Korea's statement in the past 2 years, if you take a look at his statement, I believe that he is a peace seeker instead of a war seeker with North Korea. What happened 2 days ago?
no.
That the delegation from South and North
And
meet already.
every time when there's a war call, there comes, till the end, there comes a negotiation. Right?
they
Every
have
time-
they have a
yeah,
agenda, and then they come
every
to the
time
table.
there's a shoot, and then there's another call, say, I will negotiate with you.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Okay. So I would say the North Korean Peninsula situation has to become a norm, at least starting now. Okay, now, it is totally a cat and a rat, right?
It's a game of cat and rat.
Yeah, cat and a rat. When a rat is captured, the cat doesn't want to eat it up right away.
Doesn't want to kill the cat right. I mean the rat right away.
It's play.
He want keep him alive and play with him.
So
That's exactly the
everybody
situation.
benefits from the playing.
That's right.
All right, everybody get excuses to do.
But one thing I want to mention to it is that there's a fine borderline over there. If we go beyond this borderline, definitely it's going to be
We're prepared anyway.
it's going to be disaster.
We're prepared
No,
anyway.
I think people over there don't, because think about the radiation, think about nuclear recreator in the border on the border of China and North Korea. If something leaking out from that base, it's going to be disastrous situation for the people living over there. I'm so worried about people over there.
Yeah, I mean that using the nowadays technology, we can say that we know everything about them.
That is correct.
We know everything about them. Every movement.
We don't.
Every movement about them.
We don't.
We don't?
We don't.
Why do you think we don't?
Because thinking about the geographic Skype line of North Korea area, because most of those areas are the mountains, rural mountains, and not covered by the modern civilization. And a lot of times that our detected equipment, all the satellites above it, cannot tell from nuclear recreator, which is built under the ground, and the human civilization
We can.
activity.
We exactly can, all right? Just because they can do it underground, right?
Yeah.
When they do it, what is a reactor? A reactor is a heat. It produces the supreme heat, all right? And the ultrasound the ultrasound, can tell the heat right away.
That's not the case of CIA's report. To be honest with you.
Well, the CIA is not telling you anything.
Wow,
right?
they sometimes
don't have to
us,
tell you anything.
They tell
right?
something.
We even know the waistline of Kim Jong-un.
And to be honest, to be serious, and because we know very, very little about inside activities of that regime. That is the political situation that
we have enough spies.
We do not have.
We will know.
We
shall know.
I mean, U.S. has not been able to put enough spy
or
surveillance equipment underground. That's the problem.
To my take, everybody is playing a game, right?
Well,
and also to my take, the game is going to be played for a long, long time.
I agree with you, but also I also warn everybody over there who is a game player, don't play the game without and beyond the boundary, and then become a reality.
All right. Anyway, my dear friends, every time when I say something I feel funny, I would have to make a disclaimer that whatever I say represents only myself. It's my personal opinion, nothing but my personal opinion. It doesn't do any representation to the show, neither does it to the organization. All right. And with my dear friend Wei Luo, we are wrapping up this interview, and I'm really, really appreciative for his analysis, especially for the marijuana part, and especially for the school campus part, right? So the concerns right there. Let's watch what's happening next few days or weeks. Things might pop out. So my dear audience, thank you very much for watching the show. And to my dear friend Wei Luo, thank you for sharing.
Thank you, sir. Jack, can I say that your disclaimer is said on also my behalf?
All right, good.
Thank you.
His statement representing himself only. Am I right?
Thank you, audience.
All right, good.